With Singapore's high-density environment, urban design approaches and strategies, we are pleased to invite Ms Elaine TAN, Director, Architecture and Urban Design Excellence, Urban Redevelopment Authority Singapore, to share Singapore's experience in designing for an inclusive environment with us. Her presentation is titled, Designing for an Age-Enabled and Inclusive Community. Ms. TAN, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invite here today. Hong Kong is always a lovely city to return to. My name is Elaine, and I'm from Singapore. And today I'm going to talk to you about building age-enabled, inclusive communities for all and the Singapore experience. Just to give you a little bit of background, if you're not too familiar with our aging issues in Singapore, over the next few decades, Singapore's population will age dramatically, just like in Hong Kong, as I've heard so far. The number of seniors over age 65 and above will increase and almost double to over 900,000 by 2030. So in Singapore, the issue is we're going to have nearly 1 million seniors above the age of 65, in Singapore, and we got to help them and house them and take care of their needs. And the good news is that they will be living for longer and they're going to be healthier as well. And so that is an asset that we want to leverage on. But at the same time, we know that out of these 900,000 seniors, nearly 10% of them will have some form of dementia, and nearly 10% of them will require some form of help with their daily activities. So we also got to look at the social trends. So in Singapore, people are having smaller families with fewer or no children at all. So as a result, the seniors of the future will have a smaller support network to care for them when they age. I'm sorry, this is... Okay. So as well, our seniors are becoming more well-educated. And so their aspirations have changed from my grandparents' days. So they have different ideas about what it means to grow old and to age gracefully. So our role as the government is to give the seniors the support they need to continue to contribute to society. We also understand that our seniors have a wide range of health, issues, and they are everywhere along the health spectrum of functional capabilities. So we need to tailor our efforts to meet all their differing needs. So in Singapore, we take on an integrated whole-of-government approach to prepare for the aging population. So the Ministry of Health is spearheading this initiative, and they recently released 2 years ago an action plan for successful aging, which rallies all government agencies together under one umbrella, under a $3 billion fund to support our seniors through 70 initiatives in 12 areas. So today, I'm going to touch on some of the urban-related policies and to show how better planning and design of our homes and our towns can make a difference to their life and improve their quest to age gracefully. So currently, there are both social programs responding to the social and emotional needs of our seniors, as well as infrastructure plans to respond to healthcare, transport, and daily living. So there are different scales of interventions, and it's important for us to integrate them into our plans and designs in order to make a difference to their lives. And these interventions can range anywhere from the home front to the neighborhood and extended across our entire island as infrastructure systems. So starting from the home front, we're helping our seniors, first and foremost, maintain their independence and their connection to the community by allowing them to remain mobile and to get out of their homes. That's the first step. So our vision is to create estates that enable our seniors to continue living in their own homes even as they age. So that's aging in place. And to make their homes safer, we are retrofitting them with elderly-friendly design elements like grab bars and ramps and non-slip resistant floor tiles. And we are also outfitting them with emergency alert systems so that the residents can call for help in times of emergency. We also understand that different seniors will prefer different housing arrangements. Some seniors may want their independence and want to live in a studio apartment, and that helps them by monetizing their larger flats for retirement where they can draw down funds. And these studio apartments are comfortably at about 37 square meters to 42 square meters. But we also know there are other seniors who may want to live with their adult children, and for those groups, we have multi-generational homes where you have up to 4 bedrooms, and these are about 100, 120 square meters, so that they can continue to live with their children but maintain some form of independence. Of course, we know that some seniors will require a little bit more help, and so we are introducing care services into their homes so that people can help them with daily tasks and even home-based care services. Though we try to help our seniors stay healthy for as long as possible, we recognize that there are some who will still need advanced medical care beyond what's available at home. So our aspiration is to build quality nursing homes that take into consideration person-centric care and design and make them feel as home-like as possible. And we also are studying designs of our nursing homes to better assimilate them into housing estate towns so that people do not have that not in my backyard mentality. This will help our seniors become a part of the community and do not feel isolated. We understand there are frail seniors for whom going to a nursing home may not be on the cards. And being an Asian society, there are issues about filial piety and things like that. Let's be frank about that. So to ensure that this group of seniors can continue to get the nursing and medical care and even the therapy they need, they can turn to the SPICE program, which is a model of care we have developed following a precedent set by the Americans to provide a comprehensive integrated center and home-based service to support the caring of our frail seniors. So what this means is that there will be a team of professionals ranging from your nursing to social worker to doctors, therapists, that will work together to put out a customized care plan for our seniors. And besides the home-based care and services, there are also satellite SPICE centers where the seniors can go to. So apart from the SPICE program, which is for our frail seniors, we are also building up more touch points with our seniors through a community support network, with our seniors at the heart of it. After a very successful trial that we had, we are now embarking on a nationwide expansion of the CNS to provide community-based infrastructure in support of our aging population. So as a holistic program, we aim not to just touch and go, but to touch and hold them at different points and where we need to help those in need. And so there are different points of touch points, has a network that they can go to. Designing towns. On a larger scale, town level, we want to create an environment where our seniors can go about their daily routines independently and with ease. But this starts with an understanding about their daily activity patterns, their frequency of visits, and their social habits. So having key amenities within walking distance will help them to get out of their house, stay fit, move around more. And these are some of the key places that they often frequented. So an understanding of the daily patterns will then better give us a grasp of how we can plan and design for better connectivity and wayfinding for them to create more walkable towns and good public spaces through good design. At the design level, we not only champion and guide the universal design development in Singapore, but we also need to educate architects, designers, and even the developers and public so that we can build a more inclusive and age-enabling environment for all. At the planning level, for instance, we develop a suite of GIS-enabled mapping and data analytics tools to help us better project the growth and demand of facilities frequented by the seniors. And this will help us better anticipate, plan, and prepare for the future needs. Apart from looking at senior-related activities, we are also looking at how we can overlay this with childcare demands, schools, and other social and community services to allow better co-location and co-programming, especially when it comes to having to optimize space. By doing so, we can go beyond designing for just age-friendly towns. We want to design for aging-friendly towns, age-enabled towns even, because we want to empower our seniors and encourage them to get out of their homes. So this will truly enable our seniors to live independent, active lives with dignity. So safety is a critical factor for a majority of our seniors. And to give them more assurance about walking, we have what we call silver zones in our housing estates, where there are a high number of elderly. And these zones have road safety enhancements to make it safer for pedestrians, and there are speed humps and special markings on the footpath and lifts at certain bridges. We're also seeing how we can make public transport more accessible to all, and very importantly, to make that journey for them more comfortable, seamless, and convenient. At this point, I'd just like to say and share a quote by Dr. Imi Kiyota, who is one of the expert advisors that the Center of Livable Cities engages. And the Center for Livable Cities is a think tank under the Ministry of National Development. So, apart from the physical infra and care model provision, it is important for us to take on a perspective or approach that the built environment should be designed as an enabler to empower the seniors to live with purpose and dignity through deeper engagement with the community. As you said, loneliness cannot be solved with accessible ramps. It does not. You can provide the best infrastructure, but the community and the purpose and the engagement is also equally important, and it has to work together. So for example, we have spaces such as community spaces, community gardens, which we use as a way to encourage intergenerational bonding. So for example, these community in bloom gardens are spaces where people of all ages can come together and collectively tend to the garden. So age-friendly is not about a specific age group, like Prof. Murata has mentioned, but it is about bringing different people together. We also have another example, like a family service center, which serves as a living room for the community. And the surrounding community of senior retired volunteers will come, and they will mentor, guide, and some even cook for the children of more vulnerable families. So the children and youths will get some mentorship, and our seniors are able to give back to society, and we thereby break down the social barriers and foster a stronger social community spirit. Taking reference from overseas example, and one of the examples we look at is Koto-en in Japan, where there's a lot of intergenerational programming going on between childcare and elder care, and we have taken that step as well, taking reference from them. And we're exploring ways to encourage and integrate more of such cases and scale them up in Singapore. So in that same vein, we're looking to co-locate and co-program different users to leverage on their synergies. At the same time, in Singapore's and Hong Kong's case, where land is scarce, to optimize space and reap economies of scales. And this would mean that if we are better able to plan certain services together, which are synergistic, then we can, for example, share office space, share dining halls, therapy rooms, where possible. And just alluding to what has been said today, especially what Prof. Murata has just mentioned before me, on the life cycle of a town, we are keenly aware that the life cycle of towns evolve. So we're studying how we can design for flexible spaces that can be converted according to the changing needs of the residents. So as the neighborhood matures and the elderly require more care, then we can start to convert some of what were previously, say, infant care spaces into more elder care spaces. So the last time I was in Hong Kong was sometime August or September, also a conference, and I shared on the Kampong Admiralty project. At that point, it wasn't completed, but I'm happy to say that it was recently opened officially by our Prime Minister earlier in May this year. So this project was conceived 4 years ago in response to Singapore's aging population. For us, what we felt was it was important to pilot a project as a new prototype on what a retirement community will mean in the Singapore's context in today's world. So this is a cross-section of the different facilities in the 11-story complex. And this is our first retirement community. So this is what it looks like today. And just to explain a bit of the form, because I'm sure there are architects and designers amongst us, instead of standalone functions like commercial, community spaces, housing, medical centers, our local architects, with the understanding of our context and our social behavior and trends, have designed and built this that integrates all these aspects together in a single complex. So if you can see, the first floor is where the shops are. We have a food center there. And then the medical centers are just above. And because they cantilever outwards, they create a sheltered community space below. And immediately above, you have the childcare and elder care center, the yellow parts integrated together, and they open up to the green spaces, which is a green cover that covers the building. And there's also where we have our studio apartments. We have about 100. Show you some of the spaces inside because pictures speak 1,000 words. This is the sheltered plaza, where, like I say, is a vibrant public space for our community activities like exercise. The community garden is where the seniors will spend time doing gardening, and they will reap what they sow, and they can often bring their harvest home to share with their family. And we have playgrounds that what we call multi-generational playgrounds, such that when the seniors are there doing some fitness exercises, they can also watch over their grandchildren who are just adjacent to them in the playground. We also have what I mentioned earlier, more intergenerational bonding, more co-location and co-programming of activities between elder care and childcare. So we have co-program activities such as birthday celebrations, festivals, exercise sessions together. So this is a view of what you would expect to see if you are one of the seniors living in the studio apartments, and those are the studio apartments over there. And this is what it looks like inside. It is a modest, smaller space, and we have a Malay couple here, a senior Malay couple here with one of their grandchildren. But what more can we do? That is always the perennial question. Right now, we're looking at how we can provide more varied housing options and care models of seniors, so as to cover an entire spectrum of housing needs and, care and requirements based on their level of functional ability and also their economic social groups. For example, we're also looking at things like assisted living, bringing care provision into their homes for our seniors. We're also looking at how neighborhoods can be designed for seniors with dementia to stay in their communities in situ for as long as possible, because to move them out of their community will only worsen the situation for them in unfamiliar surroundings. We're also looking at technological aids like telehealth, telediagnostics, so that we can cut down the amount of time the seniors have to spend traveling to clinics and hospitals for their checkups. We're also looking at, is it possible to look at driverless vehicles to help seniors who can no longer drive or who have mobility issues? I'm happy to be here today because hearing the speakers, I see that we are pushing the discussion, and terms have become our main, certain terms like age friendliness, active aging, they've all have gone into the mainstream language that we're talking about today, which is very, very encouraging. I am just wondering whether, just like Professor Murata has mentioned, should we push this discourse a little further and move away from just age-friendly to like aging-friendly? Can we talk about less about providing but enabling our seniors, such that it's less of a top-down approach, but a more multi-party stakeholder collaboration together? Because aging is an extremely complex issue and cannot be solved by just one party alone. And because we're talking about human beings here, and human beings have different facets of needs, therefore different facets of society and community have to come together, rally together to solve the issue. Can we move away from just active aging to more purposeful aging? Meaning, can we get the seniors to have a deeper engagement with their community and not just expecting to put a fitness center there and get them to exercise and that is active aging? No. Can we bring them out to mentor the vulnerable youth? Can the young old help the old? This is what we mean like purposeful aging. We talk about aging in place. We've shown a lot of those examples, but realistically, somewhere like Singapore and somewhere like Hong Kong, or or bigger cities where the notion of space is transient, can we talk about aging in place? Perhaps we should talk about aging in community, because bonds are what hold people together. It is the intangible that we should be focusing a lot more on. So with that, through our efforts, we hope to turn our silver tsunami into a silver lining and help our seniors stay healthy, happy, and hopeful in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Tang. Please be seated. Knowing that you all have difficulties on reviewing the Ms. Elaine Tan's PowerPoint on the live streaming page, but I'm sure Ms. Tang will share her PowerPoint with us after she has tidied up, and we will upload to the conference website again for you all references.